biggest night in theater, the night of the Tony Awards, which is a symbol of the industry's insistence on silence. It is not okay to meet this imperial violence with resounding silence.
The Revolution's Promise is a play by the Freedom Theatre of Jenin.
You feel each rocket as it comes to you. Each night felt like a year. You are counting each moment. I was shot in the arm, but there was no hospital, and we continued to move from house to house as each home was bombed or bulldozed to the ground. Jenin camp was destroyed, and there was nowhere to go.
We call upon our fellow theater workers to engage in public mobilizations and demonstrations. Wear keffiyehs and pins. Use your voices on stage and off to make your solidarity known. And engage in tactics of divestment from the warmongering apparatuses responsible for the death of innocent Palestinians.
A friend's sister told me about the theater, so I decided to see what was going on. My first acting production was called Fragments. We had the premiere, which I did not understand at all, and suddenly there was an audience and lights, and there was screaming and clapping. What the fuck?
It's Giuliano Merchamis. I'm an actor. My mother was Israeli, and my father was Palestinian. So I tried both sides. I joined the Israeli parachuters, and after 3 years, I tried to join the Palestinian Liberation Organization. My mother obviously became an activist for the liberation of Palestine. Yes. She becomes anti-Zionist. But let's be clear, because people get anxious when they hear this. Being anti-Zionist does not mean being anti-Jewish.
When I joined the theater, a small hole opened in my mind, like a child playing in the garden who finds a small door that takes you to another world. It was magical. We learned how using art we could question the world, to challenge our oppressors and confront all the difficulties of humanity.
It should come as no surprise that the theaters that drive the New York theater industry, that only a few years ago made broad, sweeping commitments to diversity, equity, and inclusion after the murder of George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter protests, are among the vanguard of institutions damning Palestine to genocide by indifference. The people doing arts and cultural work in Palestine are our colleagues, facing imminent famine and murder at the hands of the so-called IDF, paid for with our tax dollars. Yes. We will not stand by and watch as the gatekeepers of our business set the terms of our complicity in genocide. And we certainly will not let Zionist cronies tell us what we're allowed to say and do on New York stages!
Artists have the power to lead the rest of society forward. And that's exactly why governments and repressive institutions want to censor artists, want to silence artists, or want to water down their voices, contain them, separate them, and tokenize them, and co-opt them for their own purposes, right?
As artists, we understand the power that we hold and the responsibility that we carry. And the thing that upsets me most about our current theater industry is it has stripped us of our power that is intrinsic to us as artists.
Prisoners, free them all!
Free the prisoners, free them all!
Stop the U.S. war machine!
Stop the U.S. war machine!
As workers in the theater, exhort all New York theaters, professional and amateur, commercial and nonprofit, Broadway, off-Broadway, off and downtown, to amplify our cries for justice by speaking up now, without equivocation, to demand an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, the West Bank, Syria, Lebanon, Yemen, Haiti, Congo, Sudan,
So that we can build lives that are rooted in creative disruption, creative world-making, creative resistance. That is the gift